5 after 7, the 20th of May, at Westminster Presbyterian Church. We're all coming here to see the Rabbi perform one last magic act.
Thank you for that glowing introduction. My name is Lee Dorsey, and I'm the pastor at Washington Avenue Presbyterian Church. And this is my good friend, Rabbi Joe Klein. And he is the rabbi at United Hebrew Congregation here in Terre Haute. And we've been doing magic 3 or 4 years now. Well, actually, magic's been doing us. Well, the reason we got together and started doing magic was because we discovered that magic takes a new pair of eyes. And we found in both of our lines of work that what we could give our people, the members of our congregation, the best gift we could give them would be new eyes. Eyes in order to see God's world in a new way. And that's what we try to do, is to help you see God's world in a new way. But you have to help us. And how you help us is by fixing and training your eyes. Most people, when they see magic, they ask a 3-letter word question. 1 word, but 3 letters. How? 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 Well, we don't want H-O-W question mark. What we want you to do to help us tonight is another 3-letter word, but with an exclamation point at the end.
Wow.
Wow, right.
Wow.
It's working already. You know, and really, that's my wife out there, and I planted her to fill in these words. So tonight, if you will just...
Those things, because I don't think it's going to work. Okay.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, we've got a magic hat, and we've got lovely assistants, so we need... hands. Well, good, Akira. We've got hands.
What else do we need?
You know what you do with your hands? Like this. Put your hands out. Come on, Akira. Put your hands out. Yours is mine.
See the difference between your plants and my plants?
Yours work, mine don't. Okay, what else do we need?
Magic.
We need a magic wand. Did you bring your wand?
I got my hat.
Yeah, well, that won't work. We need a magic wand. Fortunately, I brought a magic wand. Where? Right, well, obviously it's not in my hat. No, it's not in my hat. If it's not in my hat, where would it be? It's up my sleeve. Of course, you guys know what you're doing. This is my magic wand. It's a what? What kind of bag is this? It's a lunch bag.
Lunch bag.
Just like the bags that you guys have. It's a paper bag. This is a lunch bag. You guys take your lunch in school? This is a magic lunch bag. This is where my wand is. Right? Okay. Let's see if we can find this wand in here. Magic wand.
Okay, we got the hat.
You got the hat.
We got the wand.
You got the wand. You have the bag.
I got the bag.
Okay, now we're set.
We're all set.
Okay. Your trick is first.
You always do this to me.
Well, I want you to put them in a good mood.
Well,
I just hope it works.
There is one thing that they didn't mention that we need to do magic.
What's that?
It's a trick I just learned. It's great. It's called hypnotism. I get people to believe that I'm a magician. We need a lovely assistant.
Okay, okay.
You'll love this. I need a lovely assistant. I need a lovely assistant. You want to come up here and be my lovely assistant for this first trick?
Leave the food.
Stand right here. What's your name?
Stacy. Stacy could be taller, but that's all right.
That's okay, Stacy. You know what this is? What is it? A clock. You ever seen one of these used by a trained hypnotist?
You're not going to see it used by a trained hypnotist.
Not tonight. You know how you would use that if I was trained? You know, you go back and forth and back and forth. You watch that. Just keep watching it. Then if I were to count backwards, you know, like 3, 2, 1, you'd be asleep. Feel any different? I thought you would. Okay.
That's it?
You haven't seen the best part.
I haven't seen anything.
She's under.
She's under?
She's under big time. Big time.
Are you hypnotized, Stacy?
Just trust me, you're hypnotized. Take out that bag. Remember the bag the rabbi gave me? What was in it? A wand. What else was in it? Rope and a string. Okay, now, you're hypnotized, right?
Say yes, Stacy.
Just agree with me. It's for their benefit. Okay? Would you check that ring out? That's a pretty solid ring, isn't it? If you were really hypnotized, I could poke your head through this ring. Are you hypnotized? Say yes. Say yes. Yes. Okay. Put your hands down and be real still. And I'm going to poke your head through this ring. Are you ready? Think little thoughts. Real little thoughts. Anybody with a smaller head out here? Okay, ready? 1. Oh, I'm supposed to count backwards. 3. 2. 1. Didn't I just poke your head through that ring? This is a slow audience. All right, that really wasn't the trick I was going to show you.
That's good, because that was barely a trick.
Do you know anything about science? Nothing? Do you know anything about the law of gravity? You ever hear the law of gravity? The law of gravity says if I let this go, what's going to happen to it? What do you think it's going to do? Go down? You're right. If I did it again, what's going to happen to it? You're right. That's the law of gravity. What if I were to drop it on this rope? It'd go down, right? Because it's not tied to that rope. It just drop right down, wouldn't it? But if you were hypnotized, I wish we had your face on camera. It's good. If you were hypnotized, and I told you that you are now in outer space, I know you wouldn't want to be there, but let's just pretend for a minute. If I told you were in outer space, this ring would float, and it wouldn't hit the floor. If you were hypnotized. Are you hypnotized? I think you are. Because all we have to do is just... It didn't hit the floor. How did I do that? That's tied in there pretty tight, isn't it? I mean, that's really tight. If I were to slide it like that, it's not, what? It's like wrestling. If you were hypnotized, I could now say you were a magician. And if you were a magician, you could take that ring off of there without me letting go of the end. You think you could do this? Grab a hold of it. Okay, ready? Count backwards. 3, 2. You can wake up now.
don't always work, but we try. I like rope, because you can do so many things with it. It also keeps getting in here. Oh, what's that? Here's what I'm going to do with this rope. Now, for the first one, I don't need to hypnotize you, because I'm confident it'll work. I don't need you in any kind of hypnotic trance. What I'm going to do, real carefully, is put the ends together like this, so that it's a complete circle. We've got a circle now. We started out with just one length of rope. Now we've got a circle of rope. But it's really not a circle. It's just a long piece of rope with its end tied. But if we take the ends off, we have a circle without any ends. Now, I didn't need to hypnotize you to do that.
You're a better magician than I am.
Well, that's true. Nor do I need to hypnotize you to put the ends back on. Okay, we'll make a little loop here. Okay. We'll just sort of loop it around again. Make our loop. Only now, we put the loops back on. Now, for the trick, that was just warm. That was just warm.
Joe,
Do you like it?
Joe, that's about as far as I've seen you do that trick.
Well, that part of it works.
And that's about as far as you want to go.
Well, I'm going to take it the next step. I may have to hypnotize him to do it. Now, for this one,
I've got my watch here. Need my watch.
For this one, I need 3 pieces of rope. So, does anybody have, I'll just cut this one to get 2. Does anybody have scissors on them? Scissors? Anybody have scissors? You have scissors, Asaf? Show me, Asaf. Come on up here, Asaf.
Bring your scissors with you.
Yeah, Asaf always puts his hand up. Come on, Asaf.
Asaf, take this with you.
I want, no, his fingers will be fine.
Okay.
I'm going to trust him with it now. When I want, those your scissors, turn around here. Turn around here. I'm going to put this in front of you here. What happened to your hand? You cut yourself with your scissors? Okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to, right here, I want you to cut this rope for me. No, not this hand, just this hand. There are your scissors.
He
Cut
needs
it
a
right
little
there.
piece. Asaf needs a
Thank
little
you.
piece.
Okay.
I know how to do that. I know how to do that.
Asaf, now when you put those scissors back in your pocket, be careful.
Careful. Put away careful.
I know
I've
how
got a
to
little
do it.
piece, and I've got a medium piece, and I got a long piece.
Joe, are you sure you want to do this trick?
Well, I'm going to do it a different way. Usually, I do it and sort of cover up the ropes, but I'm going to do it a little differently this time. I'm going to let you see all the ropes all the time.
I got an idea, Joe. Why don't I hypnotize them and tell them that the ropes are all the same length?
Why don't you let me do this? Okay, I've got 3 ropes here. See the short one, and the medium one, and the long one. So you can see them here. Now, I don't need your watch because I can hypnotize them with this. Now watch the ropes.
Do you want me to count backwards?
No, they're going to count backwards.
Do you want
Are you
me to
watching
lead
the
them?
ropes?
Do you want me to lead them in that?
No, let me do the trick.
Okay.
I'm concentrating here. Now, while you're watching the ropes, we're going to count backwards together, okay? We'll go from 3 to 2 to 1, okay? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
I'm the only one that's not hypnotized like this.
We've got 1 medium rope, 2 medium ropes, 3 medium ropes. You're hypnotized. See, you thought they were different lengths, but you all are hypnotized, and they really are all the same length. Stacy said no. Where's Stacy? Hypnotized? She was for me. Okay. Now, how do you get unhypnotized? You count backwards. You ready? Count forwards. 1, 2, 3. See, you're not hypnotized anymore. Here they are. Stone.
Joe, why don't you take off your jacket for just a minute?
Why?
Just take your jacket off. Trust me.
All right, I'll put that before.
Let me help. You are going to help me. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Put a hand out. That's good, just like that. And if you tie a knot, a square knot or granny, right above it there, right in the middle, right there.
You can get it as tight as you want.
You don't know what I've got in store for you, Joe. I think it'd be a little tighter than that. His hand's not turning blue yet. That's good. Is that pretty tight? That's not going any place? All right, Joe, I want you to put your hands behind your back.
Okay.
You got me. Hands there? Yeah. And come here, please. And would you tie another knot right there? Yeah. And make sure it's good and tight.
As tight as you can tie it?
Okay. That's pretty good, huh? Now, I want you to stand over here, right over here. I'm not done with you yet. You stand right there, okay? And let me check these one more time. And they look good. Okay.
Feel wonderful.
You all right?
Yeah, so
Move
far.
over just a little bit. Okay. Now you'll see that I don't have anything in my hand, and I don't have anything up my sleeve. Okay? This is good.
What happens if it starts to get tight back here?
Isn't that good?
What happens if this starts to...
Wasn't that better? Now, I had the ball, right? Where's the ball?
Ball. What ball? Oh, that ball. Well,
Did you eat it? Would you give me that? Okay, put your hands up. And I want you to close them on this ball. Keep it tight. You got it? Don't let it go. Don't let him get near it. Got it? Okay. Let me see now. Okay. All right. Now where was I? Oh yeah.
this was getting tight.
Okay. Now. You still have that ball, right?
Still tight back
You have the
here.
ball? Okay. You have the ball, and where's the ball now?
I gave it to Amy.
No, no, no. Everybody saw here that I gave the ball to
If
Amy.
you can give a ball to Amy, I can give a ball to Amy.
Do you have the ball I gave you? Did he give you a ball? He didn't. He
Amy,
says
Amy,
he
you're
did.
hypnotized, remember?
Yeah, I mean,
Say yes, Amy. Yes.
I gave you the ball, and you have the ball I gave you. And you had a ball in your mouth.
I did.
And what'd you do with it?
I gave it to Amy.
Amy, would you please show the man the ball I gave? How did you do that? Well,
Must have been
very
because you were
right.
hypnotized. Now I'm done with this.
Let me give you the top 5. Okay, now don't look at it. Keep them down, okay? Now what I want you to do is put the cards behind your back. He can't, no one can see. Just keep them behind your back. Okay, what I want you to do is reach into that deck, and I want you to pull out a card and just stick it on the top. Okay? Have you done that? Okay, I'll put them in front of you again. Okay, now I want you to take, this is the card I picked. Okay, and you take yours, and you put yours on top of mine. I'll put yours on top of yours. Okay? All right, now I want to put you behind your back again. And I want you to take that top card, and I want you to turn it over and stick it someplace in the deck. Okay, you've done that pretty well. Now take the deck apart. Okay? Now, slowly, let's fan them out to see what card you picked. I picked the 10 of spades. You didn't turn it over, Lisa.
I did.
Okay, where is it?
Let's do it again.
Let's try it again.
He's tricking me, isn't he?
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 cards for you. Right? Count them. Make sure you got them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5. Okay. Reach into the. Put them behind your back. Take a card. Any card. Put it on the top.
Okay.
Okay? No, don't turn it over. Now bring it back up front. Now give me the card you picked. Now take the card I picked. Now, I want you to turn that card over right now. Okay? And stick it someplace in the deck. Upside down. Okay? We think alike, but one of us is a little bit more coordinated. Okay? Now fan them slowly. There we go. Now, of course, you're all saying that's no big deal because they're all 10s. But only 2 of them were black 10s.
I need a lovely assistant, but I need a quarter. Hey, you gotta have a quarter. The hands go down. You have a quarter? No. I need somebody with a quarter. No big deal, a quarter. I didn't ask for a $50. Nobody has a quarter? You have a quarter? Well, come up here, darling. No, you don't. You lied to me. You must be one of the right family. Well, come up here then. Okay. That's your, hold on. That's your, make sure it's a quarter. That's a quarter. Okay. I've got an envelope here. I'm going to put it in this envelope. Okay? I'm going to put it in the envelope. And leave it right here on the table. Okay? Now, I've got a deck of cards too. In here. My deck are smaller.
This is a much smaller trick.
But it works better. This is a regular deck of cards. A regular deck of cards. No funny business here. They aren't all 10s. Your quarter's in here, right? Right? I want you to identify a card, anyone, anywhere in the deck, and it's going to be our marker card. Just pull it out. Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna turn it. That's it. I'm going to turn it over. Okay, Jack of Diamonds, and that's going to be our marker card. Now I'm going to put this on the table, right next to your quarter. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about the date on your quarter. You don't know the date on your quarter? It was your quarter. Concentrate on the date, and I'm going to concentrate on it. You got it? Are you thinking about the date? Because I'm not getting anything. Well, fortunately, this is a magic deck of cards. My grandmother gave them to me before she died, with the secret. This is a telepathic deck of cards. You put a card in here, right? Remember what it was? What?
Jack of Diamonds.
Jack of Diamonds. Still there, right? Okay. And your quarter's in here. The Jack of Diamonds knows the date on your quarter. Do you believe me? You don't believe me? Would you like to believe me? See what the date on your quarter is.
You did it. 1979.
1979. Okay. Let's find your Jack of Diamonds. There it is. Okay. This is the card on one side of it. This is the card on the other, right? So I'm going to pull them out. Hold it.
Can we get more popcorn and some more drinks?
1979, right?
card? That card feel strong? It leaks a little bit.
You want it full, don't you?
Put that card right on top.
All right.
All right? Would you take that hat off for a second? Now, I hope this is a strong card.
So far, so good.
So far, you're right. So
You
far.
didn't tell them how this is going to end.
How this ends is you take that, you put that hat on one more time.
All right.
Not yet. We're going to see how strong this card is.
Oh. The new hat.
The new hat. And you're going to put it on.
My hat,
Right, you just pick this up.
My hat.
This is a strong card.
Oh.
Okay. Feel good?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to think how strong that card could be if it wasn't there.
Whoa. Pretty neat.
Put that card back on there. Okay? You can put the head on now. Because I don't know. All I know is that whenever I pour water into it, and I put the lid back on, and I wave the magic wand over it and say, "Hocus pocus," and pour the water back out, things happen. And you know, I do it again.
Different color.
Hocus pocus.
Different color. Red. 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 Red.
And again. Hocus pocus.
Yeah.
And again. Hocus pocus. It's an amazing jar that works every time I do it.
But what happens if you put it back in? What will the jar do?
You mean if I were to put,
What happens if you pour it back in? What happens if you put green into there, and red into there, and yellow into there, and blue into there? What will the jar do? He asks.
who put you up to that one?
Adira, she wants to know.
Did you? What
What's
happened?
going to happen? It will be white.
Put in a little green.
Let me pour it in the red. Red. Now let's put in the put in the same time.
Makes green, doesn't it?
Yellow and blue makes blue's already in there. Okay.
Put the lid on.
Yeah. Clear water.
Hocus hocus. Backwards.
Maybe color water.
And you're right.
Clear tube. I don't have 4 colors. I can only afford 3 colors. Stick the yellow one in there. I'll put the red one in this side. Okay. Okay, get the red one there. Put the blue one in here. And I want to tell you a story. At the beginning of this presentation, Reverend Dorsey said, we have to look around us all the time to see the wonderful things. Because there is magic in this world, not just on this table, and not just with scarves and colored waters and quarters and cards. There is magic everywhere. Yes, there is. There is magic everywhere. And I want to tell you a story about magic being everywhere. A long, 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 long time ago, there was a story told about a man named Moses. You know about a man named Moses? Well, this man Moses brought the whole people of Israel out of Egypt. And you know what he had in his hand? Not 3 scarves, no. You know what he had in his hand? He had a staff. And that staff united all the people, just like I put these 3 scarves in. And Moses and the Israelites came to the edge of the Great Sea, and Pharaoh's army was chasing them. You guys know the story. Moses took his staff, and he held it over the water, and you know what happened to the water? You know what happened to the water? It split. And the Israelites walked across. Moses, as long as Moses held his staff out over the waters were split into huge walls, and the people of Israel walked across. And you know what they said as they were walking across? Wow! Moses is standing there with his staff, and they're walking across and looking at these walls, and they're saying, wow! Except 2 people. There was a man named Reuben and a man named Shimon, and they were in the crowd, and they're walking along. And Reuben, they're walking along, and they're looking where they're going, because it's a pretty big crowd, you know, a lot of people. And they're walking on the bottom of the sea. You know what the bottom of the sea was like? You know what it was like? Muddy and yucky, and Reuben's walking along, and he's saying, oh, look at this blood. Oh, yuck, my shoes are dirty. Oh, no. Shimon, what are we going to do? This is terrible. Watch out for that puddle. Oh, there's a dead fish there. They're just complaining and moaning and watching where they're going. And Shimon says, there's mud everywhere. We made bricks out of mud like this in Egypt. When we were slaves in Egypt, we had mud just like this. And now look where they're taking us. Into more mud, into more mud. And these 2 guys are complaining back and forth all along the way, watching where they're going. They don't want to step into dead fish. They don't want to step into puddles. They don't want to step into yucky seaweed. All the way across the sea, they're watching where they're stepping and complaining and moaning. And they get to the edge, they get to the far edge, and they step on dry land, and they say, oh, thank God we got out of that stuff. And never once did they look up. And the rest of the Israelites said, there was a miracle. There was a miracle. Reuben says to Shimon, what miracle? And they said, the walls of water stood up high and we crossed. Shimon says, what do you mean miracle? There was mud and yuck and dead fish. We didn't see any miracle. They were watching the mud. They were watching where they were going. All they had to do was lift up their eyes to see the miracle, to see the magic of God's world. What we want you to do is to not keep your eyes on the mud and the yuck that we walk in. We want you to lift up your eyes and see the miracles and the magic of God's world. If you lift up your eyes, see the wind blowing through trees, see the changes in colors in a field, watch the beautiful flowers grow up out of your very garden. If you look up, if you lift up your eyes to see, you'll see the magic. and not be like Shimon and Reuben. So we want you to look up and see the magic.